Hey guys, and welcome to How to Use Ableton, Part 2. In this video, we'll be talking about cutting audio clips, grouping them, adding audio effects, and more. I'm pretty excited about this one because when you're cutting audio clips, you can make your songs different and, make those samples your own, and it's pretty fun. Also in this video, I'll be talking about saturation, compression, and EQ, and sidechain, and in other videos, I'll go into a lot more detail on all those audio effects. If you're new to producing, please watch my other videos because in this video, I'm going to go into a more advanced level. So if you guys haven't watched those other videos, it's going to be a little bit harder for you guys to understand what I'm doing. If you guys are more advanced, then you guys will know. So please enjoy this video and let's get into it. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this video. So we're going to talk about cutting clips, adding audio effects, grouping tracks together. And we have this track here and I'm going to start adding more. And you guys already know how to add things onto your audio tracks and some other things. But first, let's start by pressing Command J. And we're going to go onto record warp launch. Make sure the auto is on. This loop warp, auto warp, make sure it's on. Before I told you to take it off because it changes the samples based on the BPM and sometimes it's not accurate on this grid, which I'm going to show you right now. So let's get out here. Make sure all that's on. You see how it says 150? So if you have something that's at 160, it'll connect to this grid and it'll be on on the grid exactly, which is what we want. And you see this grid here? We're going to go into this drop really quick and then we're going to hear these drums. We'll go here. And if we zoom in, if we go right click and you press narrow, this is an adaptive grid. It shows you quarter beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, sounds like this. I'll press the metronome on. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, right? So, and if we go zoom in more, it cuts the beat in half, which is the 8th note. So that sounds like this. So let's go to 8th. Sounds faster because it's cutting the beat in half, so it's going double time it. And then let's go into 16th, which is even half of the 8th. So it's gonna be, should we go faster, right? So that's why I'm showing you what this grid does, and we want to make sure it's right on. And if you look at these waveforms right here, here it hits here. This one looks like it's off a little bit, but it'll be okay. This one's right on. So that's good. And if I click here, it shows this little warp thing. And if I zoom in here, it'll show you. It actually looks like it is a little bit off. So I can change that right now by going here and clicking that, and it should still be good. Oh, sorry. Let's go to auto. All right, now we're going to talk about warp later. I don't want to, get too advanced right now. All right, so let's go to the bass loops. We're going to go into this little section here, press this button. I went into this packs. Let's go into the synth loops and let's pick it at 150 where we have it. So it'll connect to the grid. And I want it at F minor. The song's going to be in F minor, which I'll talk about music theory later as well. So let's grab that loop. We're going to drag it in. Let's grab another loop. See, this is at 160. And it plays it at 160 when it's in the raw, when this is hit. So make sure that's on as well. And when we drag it in, it should snap onto the grid. So let's click it. And we're going to zoom in. And you see it's pretty much on. That's what warp does, which is cool. Now this little clip that's in 160, and it will now be in 150, which is cool. And let's get one more. F minor, we need an F. Cool. So now we're going to start cutting. So I'm going to take this off and go down here. and take this off so it looks a little bit nicer. And now let's get into this view and let's start cutting some of these things. So what am I gonna do? Let's cut it. Let's drag it. No, I said cut, right? So let's press Command E, and you see I started cutting there. And then let's cut this. Command E, take that out, and maybe let's see. Go here. Take Command E, then we can drag. Take this out, that out. And then make this raptor loop. I'm going to have some right here at the end. So we won't need this. Command E, you see how it creates that two little loops, 2 clips right here. And then we can delete this. And then we'll leave this right here. No, I don't know why I'm selecting all of it. Command E, see how it does that. And then we can take this off for right now. We can leave this here. Command E. And then maybe drag it like a bit there. And delete that. So right now it sounds like this. Sorry, that's on together. Let's make sure to take this off. Let me drag it right here. Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to play it again because I don't want to waste so much time. Let's start. Take this off. Let's press Command E and then Alt Option. Duplicate it right there. And then we'll grab this. This one. And I really want the end of all this. It ends right there. Looks like, yeah. And then we need more. Yeah, a little more, right? So, and you guys can do this too, you know, you just experiment cutting things up and seeing how things sound. And you see how these are cut like this? Like one is cut and the other. I want to put them together. How you do that is you select this, press Command J, or you can right click and consolidate, which will put it together. Watch. You see how it's one clip now? Now let's hear how it sounds. Cool, but maybe I'll change this one and put it like the same thing here, so kind of like it's not too crazy, you know what I'm saying? So we got that, and if you want to duplicate all this, you can go here, select it all, or one thing you can do is just select here, go to edit and press duplicate time, and you'll see it'll create the same exact thing on other bars right here. So we just added more time and it's the exact same thing. You don't have to select everything and press Command D, which is nice. So we have this. Let's play it again. And it just, you know, starts over again. So now let's start grouping these tracks. So we're going to select one, press Command, select the end of it. Oh, sorry, press Shift. So we're going to select it, press Shift, then Command G. Now we grouped it together. And we're going to select here, and let's press Command R, and we're going to call this bass. And you see that all these clips are together now, which is cool. And we can press this button and collapse it. And now you see that looks a lot nicer. And then let's check this intro right here, how it sounds. One cool thing is you see this this melody that we have here. what you can do is you can select one of the clips, right click it, and then you can convert melody to MIDI track. So it's going to get this melody and convert it into a MIDI track. Watch what I'm talking about. You press it. And if you hear this MIDI track here, and this is like a simpler or a sampler right here, which is like a synth. Sorry, this is a synth, and it's going to play this basically the MIDI or the melody that we had. Just like the other one. So if I soloed it, press Command, and you can solo 2 tracks at one time. But I want to change this one out, so I press Delete. And let's go to Serum. And we'll go into our plugins. Drag it on. I remember I did this in the first video. And let's go to Plux, and we're going to choose Phantom. And let's see how that sounds together. Cool, but the Phantom one is drowning out the other one, and that's the one I want to be like the lead. Let's hear how this just sounds by itself. Now with the other one together. You know, adding this layer. So let's go here, select, Command G, and I just put them together now, and Command R, so we can name it something else. Sorry, Command R, name it ARP. And then we have that ARP there. Go back and make sure to select it, Command D. And then we can just make this one clip, so Command J to consolidate, and we could put it as one clip, which is cool. So we have that now. That's pretty cool how you guys can, like, you know, convert like melodies into like synths, and sometimes it's not right on exactly. Like if you see here, let's see, this one, they actually look good right here, but some of them could be off. So you see this, what I'm talking about, like at this this is the 8th, right? Because this is a beat, it's right in between the 8th. We just talked about that. If we zoom in, you see that it's not right on, right? Which this one is. So it's a little bit off, which didn't sound bad. Sorry, I'm going to consolidate all this together. Command J. Now it's one clip all together. Okay, so we're going to go into this clip, click there, and then we're going to zoom in, and I'm going to show you one note that's off. If we go in closer, you see that note is a little bit off, and we want it to click here, right? And we're going to put quantize 16th. So if we go out, if you look over here, it says 16th. So these are all little squares that are at 16th. So it's going to click onto one of these squares. So it should, if we zoom in, click here. I know it says we're a lot more like zoomed in, but I just want to show you. So we're going to press right click. We're going to quantize settings, and we're going to press start right here at 116. What this do is this is going to click all the way in. So if I press OK, it's going to quantize this and click it right to the grid at the 16th, one of those, and you see how it clicked right back in. Now, if you want this end part to click into the 16th too as well, so let me zoom out. So this little part right here, it's going to click. If you want this to drag all the way out there, what you can do is Command A, or what I did before, quantize settings, and then we can press end, and it'll drag it out all the way into the end. See, you see how all of them dragged out now to the 16th, which I don't really care about too much. I just want that first one. So that's how you can quantize your MIDI notes onto this grid, which is cool. So you guys know that now. And then we have that. Let's hear how it sounds. And we have this stab, and it's kind of dry, so I'm going to add some reverb. I showed you guys in the first video that we're going to send this reverb to this. And you see how I have a concert hall. If you go into the reverb here, you click here, go into reverb, and you press these two little lines right here, it actually opens up the reverb, and you can choose little presets, and you can just drag it on, like church, dark hall, right? I like concert hall because it sounds like you're in a concert hall. And the decay time is the end of it, how long it will be till the tail. And I'll show you guys all this later about reverb too, but I just want to talk about this really quickly, but I just want to show you that really fast. So that stab will sound, it'll sound bigger, more reverb. So I'm going to put this all the way. Let's hear how it sounds now. Now it just made it sound more massive, right? So we got that. Now let's go into our basses. You see all these basses that we have, and let's add some audio effects into it. See how you can use audio effects. So let's create a loop, which I don't think as I've showed you guys. So you're going to select here. Let's press Command L, and it creates a loop. And that might take some time, so I just want to show you what I mean by loop. See that, how it keeps looping and looping, but I want it a little bit longer. So we're going to loop it all the way there. And how I just selected that and pressed the space bar and it started playing. But again, in the first video, I talked about that. So press in here, and then you're going to go to your audio effects. First, let's do a saturator, so audio effects. So these are all your effects here, right? I'm going to choose a saturator. And where are you? Saturator right here. And that's going to add some, like a guitar pedal where like a regular electric guitar sounds different when you add that distortion pedal, and it sounds a lot crazier. This adds, it's kind of the same concept, but maybe not as much. Depends how you change different things. So in a later video, I'll go into even more depth, but I just want to show you how you can use different audio effects on your sounds. So I'm going to add some drive to it. And that was kind of loud because it adds volume as well. So you have to put the output volume down. And I talk about output volume and volume, all about volume and the gain staging. So make sure you guys watch that too. See, all these videos come together. See how it sounds without it? With it. Let's put the volume down. Now we're going to use the EQ, which stands for equalization, and that's how you carve your sound, cut different frequencies and stuff like that, and that needs its own video as well, EQ by itself. So I'm going to cut out some of these low frequencies so it doesn't compete with this kick, with these drums. And then cut some of the highs because they're kind of overbearing. But not too much. And then let's add a compressor to glue everything together, and I'll choose a glue compressor. And we'll effect. Now we have that group, right? So let's go back into the session view. Sorry, it's not playing. We gotta press play. Actually sounds good there. See, this volume in the drums is kind of going over. And that's not good. So in the gain staging video, I show you how to go here and press maybe -3. See how, if you look at it, this one's bigger, this one's lower because we put the volume down because it's clipping. And we have some headroom here. So we're going to add some more makeup gain to add some volume, the output volume. Cool. So it'll be more accurate when we use this fader. And the last thing I'm going to use is another compressor, but we're going to use that as a sidechain. So we're going to go here, press sidechain. We're going to sidechain it to the drums, which this compressor, again, guys, this video is just to really show you how you can use audio effects and cutting and stuff like that. Once again, I will go later into detail in all this. I know it can be kind of a lot. I'm just showing you guys this for right now, how you can use audio effects. But later on, when you learn more about compressors and EQs, then you guys will understand. All right, so again, we're going to hear the volume from the drums. It's going to lower the volume on the bass. Let's click this out. So we'll hear it right now. You see how I really went down? You can only hear like the drums because it's lowering the volume. This signal is coming into this compressor as a sidechain, and it's lowering the volume. Each time those hits are, it lowers the volume of the bass. But what's cool now is I can bring up this bass volume. Because it's hitting only when, when the bass hits, and it's lowering the volume. So I can put up the volume because the basses are hitting, and then the bass goes back up when those kicks and snares are not hitting. All right, last one. Let's go into the ARP. And we're here. I have this ARP. Let's go into it. All right, so we're going into the ARP, but first what we can do is we can go into the bass. And what we can do is here, we can click here, press Shift, click here. And you see how it selects everything, Command G. And you see how it groups it together, which is cool, right? Now you can hear it with it or without it. So let's play it. That's with all the effects. This is without it. So what we're going to do is we're going to press Command C to copy it. And then we're going to add this to our ARP. So I press Command C. Now let's press Command V. And now we have it here. And let's turn all these off right now. We won't need the sidechain for this. And let's take this off. Let's take this off. And let's put this back. So these are off. But the saturator is on, so it can add some, distortion. It adds color, it adds warmth, it adds more frequencies. Cool, we got some more color. The transients hit more. Transients are these right here. It's more spiked up. You can't see it right now, but this is what it's doing. Let's put the EQ on to cut out some frequencies. And you see these are frequencies we don't even need. And then let's add the glue compressor to glue those parts together, this audio and this MIDI. So without it, with it, adds that little bit of attack. That attack is this first part of the wave, which makes that like little percussive sound that hit. So like the drums, right? If we listen to it. See that that first transient. Anyways, so we have that down. So you see how we can group tracks and add these different audio effects, and that's how you're using these audio effects. You put them together, you group them together. You can hear it with it or without it, and let's hear how it sounds all together. All right, hold on. One last thing I'm going to do. All right, so one last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this. I want to make these basses come in at this in this build. So let's press Command Option, and let's press Command. You can leave it like that. So Command D, so it sounds like, wait, hold on, I'm not done. Command D. Command D. And then I want that last part of this. So this part right here. See, I just dragged all of it out. You see how I cut it with Command E and stuff like that? That's why they're out like that. And it sounds like. So it should sound, maybe I'll add a little bit more here. And we can use a fade. Well, let's see here that sounds. Yeah, that's fine. So let's hear it all together now. Alright guys, hope you guys liked this video. Don't worry, I know maybe it was kind of a lot, but you guys are more advanced, you guys kind of already know what I'm saying. But in other videos, I'm going to go into more depth again. So, the first video was really general. This is a little bit more general too. I'm just showing you different things. And then we're going to start going into the EQ, compressor, really more into detail. So I hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe, comment so I can make some more videos for you guys. So you guys can make some really cool music. All right. See you guys later.